Hello, my name is M. Jason Graham, and this is In Under 5 Minutes. In Under 5 Minutes is brought to you by mjgstorycreation.com. Go to mjgstorycreation.com and do a free download for your idea and get started on turning your idea into an epic story today. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how story units interlock, because this is the practical element of producing your story once it's written. And this is one of the strongest arguments for doing your story development before you begin to cut it up into story units. Now, as of course I've said before, a scene has one emotional transition. You have an episode that has 4 emotional transitions. So you have at least 4 scenes in an episode. And then a scheme has 8 emotional transitions. And so you have 2 episodes that make up a scheme. And then it's at least 11 scenes that make up a scheme. Now, what this means is, let's say, because when you're looking at television or you're looking at film, a scheme is about 20 to 30 minutes on film. Now, let's say you don't have the resources to do that. Let's say you only have enough resources to do 10 minutes. Well, you know that 10 minutes is an episode, basically. So now that you have marked that out in your story, you know exactly where those emotional beats are. You know where those endings are. And now you can tell a full story, although it's not as large as, of course, the scheme. But you can tell a full story and leave anticipation for the next part of it. Maybe you want to do a scene that's kind of a proof of concept. So you select a scene that that encapsulates what your story is about. Or you do an episode and it's 10 minutes long and you're using that to pitch for a larger movie. All of these things are done. But the key thing is that you want to know where your story is going and where those emotional beats are before you start to cut it up. A lot of problems that I've seen in television, we see it all the time. We'll get this great show that is fantastic in the first season. And then we get to season number 2, and it's most of the time it's just not as good. Sometimes it's downright terrible. And the problem is that there was all this development and work done on the first pilot in the first season, where all of these things were worked out. But when it comes to the second season, you only have like 3 months to develop the episodes in the second season before you have to write the episodes and then start producing them and go into production. So if you haven't already considered where the characters are supposed to go and where they will be by season 5, it makes it a little more difficult to get all of that done. And you kind of have to look at it from episode to episode, and then you start to introduce elements to characters that have never been introduced before just for the expedience of the story. So, my name is M. Jason Graham, and this has been In Under 5 Minutes. In Under 5 Minutes is brought to you by mjgstorycreation.com. Go to mjgstorycreation.com and get started on turning your idea into an epic story today. I'll see you next time.